What is up, everybody, and welcome back to our 10-acre homestead here in the mountains of North Idaho. And it is hot.
I know, this is like the hottest day we've had so far. It
Yeah.
feels so good on the skin.
Yeah, finally got some good weather going on here, guys. And since it is that time, we're going to do some planting in the garden. So those boards that we just brought up, we're going to make some more cold frames like these ones you see on the ground just behind us here. Yeah, let's get right to it.
Let's do it. So we've decided that as our greenhouse is right now, it's not working quite well enough for all of our starts. We don't have any lights in here. We don't have any heat in here. We still need to like insulate and cover up a lot of drafty areas. So it's not getting enough light and it's not really getting enough heat for what we want it to do, like at this moment. So I'll flip it around and kind of explain it a little bit better. So this greenhouse is working perfectly for the things that we have planted in the soil, like this mint that was planted last summer. Is doing awesome. It's doing really, really good. But as far as a lot of the starts down here, these tomatoes haven't even popped up yet. They are not getting enough sunlight and they're not getting hot enough to do what we want them to do. We need more lights in here, like electricity, but that's gonna be further down the road. So a lot of these are popping up. They're just not as big as they could be. So we designed and built these cold frames about 10 days ago because we knew that we wanted to plant outside, but it still gets a little bit cold. And everything that's planted in here is doing really, really, really good. The soil is super warm and it's just doing overall a lot better than everything in the greenhouse. So we want to build a couple more to get some more stuff outside. So since that cold frame system is doing so well, we want to build a couple more lids for these two beds over here. And we'll be able to get a lot more stuff outside. Okay, you guys, we got the frames all put together. You can see these boards were a little thin, so we had to use the chunks of 2x4 to actually connect them, but I think that should work pretty good. Now we just have to get the plastic, cut it to size, staple it on there. I think we'll run a board across the middle as well. Yeah, and then plant later this evening. What are you doing?
Even though you think
All right, you guys, back down here this morning. We finished up last night. We completed a couple of those cold frame lids for our garden beds. Mike built a little hoop house out of some fencing. I need to get the plastic on that. But first, I am going to get the sheep into their pasture. Luckily, it is getting easier and easier to move those ewes into their other pen. I think they appreciate a little bit more space during the day. Plus the grass is getting nicer and thicker, so they're definitely liking that. But I know I appreciate them not trying to run all over the place when we're switching back and forth.
Next morning here on the homestead, guys, and this video has just been like a bunch of little things, and you know, that's all right, because these little things kind of add up to one big project, I guess, so that works out. Also, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we don't really put in a lot of the videos, but yeah, so it's good to just be checking off these littler things one by one. I think the next thing to do in this video this morning is get the sheep back in their pen. Then I think we want to raise this bottom wire up on the T-post a little bit. It seems to be grounding out on a few areas, so let's get after it. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is raise up this bottom wire just a little bit. You can see this one here has plenty of space underneath the wire, but if you come over to this one here, you can see that as it continues on down, it starts to touch the grass. And if this electric wire touches the grass, it first drops the voltage, and if there's enough grass touching it, the fence won't work at all. So it's just a bare piece of wire sitting there for an animal to push up on. They're not going to get shocked or anything, so we want to keep all of the grass off of this to really try to train the animals to not touch the fence. Now what I'm doing, guys, is just kind of walking around and looking for any pieces of organic stuff that are touching the fence kind of anywhere. Pieces of grass, pieces of sticks, rocks, the wire touching the ground somewhere. We just kind of looking for anything, and right here looks pretty good. Go around to the other side and check the top. All right, guys, fence is working back online. That's super cool. Everybody has been staying inside the fence pretty good. We were fighting the little guy. He just kept getting out, kind of shooting through the wires, slipping under the fence, under that bottom wire. And I think it was getting grounded out in a few spots. So now that we got the wire all done up and it's got some good volts, hopefully as soon as that little ram touches it, he just bails right out immediately. Guys, we want to let you know that if you have any questions, just leave them down below in the comments. And then in just a few days' time, keep an eye out for our video on our Laid Back Living channel, where we do more of like a sit-down style video and talk about these projects in a little bit more detail. So leave a question down below and we will answer that in our video on Laid Back Living. For now, that is a wrap on this one. We're going to get back to making one project in one video, because this little ADD jumping all over the place thing, didn't like it. See you guys.